recently, your father's ex-bodyguard, Rashawn, wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Paul didn't write for your father. Do you know if that is an accurate statement? Paul Mooney didn't write for your father.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always been under the impression that he did help write for my father, not on a regular basis. But I even think on the Richard Pryor show, Paul Mooney wrote on the Richard Pryor show, if my memory serves me correctly. So in some aspect, he did write for my father. It's not that he wrote everything. He didn't write all my father's material or anything like that. I'm sure he was a contributor.
Did your father have any other writers?
Not that I'm aware of, that, you know, stands out in my head or as far as like somebody else's, you know, not that I can like say, oh yeah, so-and-so wrote for my dad, you know. Because I know he like wrote for like Sanford and Son, and he helped write, you know, Blazing Saddles. So I know he wrote himself, but I'm not sure who were the people that were involved as far as helping him or assisting him in any way.
As far as stand-up's concerned, most of that your father wrote or all of it?
I really, that I couldn't say. You know, I know his stories were his stories because I know those are true.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure who helped him, if anyone helped him develop them, the characters or anything like that. I really couldn't say.
So Paul Mooney was involved in writing with your
as
father?
far as I know, you know, he was around.
Have you spoken to Rashawn
No. About what?
Any of the allegations he made?
Only the one allegation. That's about it. Of him, you know, saying, you know, he was sorry what he did as far as bringing that information out, but he said it's time for us to stand up for our children and, you know, and speak what's wrong and what's happened. Yeah, but it wasn't your story to tell. That was pretty much mine. Thank you, but it wasn't your story to tell.
So he didn't consult you before?
No. I heard about it by somebody sending me a clip from the interview that he did.
Probably was me.
Yeah.
Because I called you.
I remember you.
I said, Rich, you ain't gonna believe this.
Yeah, it might have been you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he didn't consult with you,
No.
but he did apologize.
Well, no, he apologized for he just said, I do apologize for telling us or whatever, but, you know, this is why I did what I did.
How did that affect you personally? Someone bringing up something that has nothing to do with them, that's very...
It was horrible. What was horrible about it was that the fact that, again, you deal with victims being attacked. That's what was the horrible thing. You know, you got people debating on what my age was, and I was an adult when this happened, and all these things that they wanted to say as far as how I was allowed something like that to happen because I was a dude, you know, and I had to be an adult, and if it was, I was close to where I could consent to myself, for myself, and all that stuff. It was never like, you know, come on now, this is wrong, this person did this and it's wrong, period. You know, those were far in between as far as what I heard. So it was a very tough thing to go through. It was very hard, not knowing what was going to be, you know, like in the news the very next morning and all those things that, you know, and then emotionally it just drains you when you're going through. And then you know, you don't want to show your face in public, and you know, you're worried about who's going to contact you and call you, which all that stuff happened. So it was a tough thing to actually go through. That's why I spent so much time not saying nothing.
I know you lay low. Well, we spoke a lot during that time. I know you lay low. How did TMZ find you?
I have no idea how they found me. The only thing I can think of, I went to a taping of a show. The only thing I can think of is that someone who worked there contacted them.
Was it well publicized that you would be at that taping?
No.
Because they popped up and said, hey, Richard. Yeah. I was like, damn.
Yeah. And I remember walking out. I had to go to the bathroom, and I remember I was like the last person out. And it was just so weird, you know, because usually I would have just went out with the crowd, but I stopped and went to the bathroom, came out, and they were like right there. As soon as I saw, I knew exactly who it was. It's like, oh no. And then trying to lose them in Times Square, that was the...
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of debate about the age that the
Mm-hmm.
alleged incident, you have to say, happened.
Right.
What was your age at that time?
I wasn't 18. It was before me being 18. I know that.
Before you were 18?
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any contact with the other party that was
No.
mentioned?
No, not at all.
Anybody from his camp?
No.
Sons?
No. No. Nothing at all.
Nothing since that time?
No.
And the bodyguard also mentioned in the interview that your father put a hit out.
Right.
Is there any validity to that, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, no. There's really nothing I could say about that because I wasn't privy to that and I wasn't around for that, so I don't know as far as if that conversation actually took place. If it didn't take place, there's no way of me knowing at all, other than hearsay.
Is that something your father could have been capable of? Did he have the people to actually do it?
Well, I mean,
did he have the heart to do it?
I don't know, but when you high, you do a lot of things you wouldn't do. So who knows, Yeah, I wouldn't be able to say yes or no, but you do a lot of things when you're high, when you're going up and coming down.
Well, when you're coming down, you usually get really cold because that body temperature drops.
Yeah.
What would you like to say about the whole situation to surmise it all?
That what happened in my life happened in my life. I've always been an open book talking about things I've gone through. I may not name names directly, and then the people who have done something to me know who they are.
Was Rashawn lying about that situation?
You're really trying, aren't you? Well, as I said before, I talk about my abuses, the things I've gone through, the things that's happened to me when I was younger, not of legal consent. Things that have happened to me, they've been out of the public's eye and in the public's eye. And the ones who have been mentioned and the ones who haven't been mentioned, they know who they are. That's all I can say. I'm not here to put anyone under a bus or whatever, but if someone did something to me, they know exactly who they are. So I don't forget, I haven't forgotten, and they haven't forgotten either. Whether they ever admit it or not, that's up to them.
Is this something you would pursue, or is it just put to bed now? Is over? Well,
I never, I never unmade the bed and told anybody to get in it. So it's something, when you go through something like this, and like you went through, you don't want it to be on a thing where someone forces you to say what you don't want to say, or something that you say you're not ready to say. Sometimes we go through things in life and we're prepared to say a lot of things and to talk about situations we've gone through, but sometimes when we talk about those things, we're not willing to, at that moment, to say exactly who that person was. We may generalize it as the uncles or the friends or something of that nature. It's just that I'm in a place where I don't want any repercussions because I know what it was like a couple months ago and what I had to go through without me saying anything.
Yes.
And the attacks that were on me because of that. So,
When you say attacks?
People attacking me, physically and verbally being attacked and being accused of things that you hadn't done, and being told that you consented to this if it did happen, and all those things that were not factual at all.
Someone attacked you physically?
Not physically, no.
Oh, okay.
No, you're dealing verbally and, online. People have balls when they're online and can be behind a keyboard. They can say whatever they want to say. And that's what people did, I did have people that supported me and people spoke out against certain things because there's people that I've talked to about situations with, personally. So it's not like that's people don't know, but the people that I've told things to are very good friends because they keep it to themselves.
Why, thank you, Rich.
Yeah.
Why, thank you. I'd like to shake your hand. So you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
So what would you like to tell the people out there? Let them know.
Buy my book,
Where can they buy the book?
In a Pryor Life. You can purchase it on Amazon or at Bear Manor Media, B-E-A-R, Manor Media, right here.
Hold on, I'll zoom in. Hold it there. Don't move. Got it.
Okay. Or you can go through me at inapryorlife.com, and you can actually purchase a book through me if you want an autographed signed copy.